Hi, I'm Mark, a technical architect with TSG, and in today's video we're going to talk about FileNet migration, specifically migration of cold documents. The cold document format is an IBM specific format that's compressed multiple times so that you get a very small file size. These two layers of compression for cold documents, however, can make them rather difficult to get out of FileNet or to parse through. Those two layers being, first, it can just be compressed in a traditional way like you would zip up a file, and then within that, the content of the cold document is broken into the template, which is simply the background information that doesn't change from document to document, as well as the text, like the specific dates and fields on the document that do change. So part of the difficulty is to marry those two together, as well as just decompression being rather difficult to crack. So the first method we're going to show is probably the most traditional, and that is to simply use IBM's Deja Viewer, a standalone viewing application, to view these documents. When viewing in there, I can manually click through and try and print the document, which will bring up a standard browser print dialog that I can have the document saved as a PDF. Once I have this document saved down to my computer, I can view it like a normal file. You'll notice the data on there from the cold format. So this method obviously is rather manual, but we could, using Selenium scripts, take this method, and rather than myself clicking through the Deja Viewer, we could have a script or a bot do the same kind of thing. While this has the virtue of simplicity, the downside of this approach is that, as you could see, even just me clicking through this application and pulling up a document took 20 to 30 seconds per document. A Selenium script going through this would be slower. So obviously the downfall of this approach is it's very slow, and because we would need an entire server farm to do this quickly, it's hard to scale. So that brings us to our next approach, which is to convert the document using the Deja Viewer's API. So here we have a program that's going to hit the same APIs which I just hit while I was clicking through and clicking those buttons, except we're going to hit them via a script that hits the same APIs, and you'll see here again, at the end of the day, it gets a PDF out of there. But we'll notice again that kind of the rub with this approach was, again, speed. Sure, this was 5 seconds compared to 30, but because the Deja Viewer API still does take some time, there's a bit of a delay from document to document, and again, we would run into this having some trouble scaling. So our final approach that we're going to look at is we at TSG have developed a small program to decode directly using Java code these files, or these cold files. And what we're going to do is I'm going to run this, and we'll see here in about under a second we have a converted PDF of that same FOB, and crucially here in this case we were also able to use the template that all of that information we were viewing on the other ones to fit into. So now we have a full document that comes about in under a second. If you're interested in cold document conversion or migrating off FileNet, visit our website. Thanks for listening.